Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Pete's Parlay Show for NFL Week 6. I got 4 interesting picks for this week's parlay. Hopefully it'll be a winner. We'll see. First, let's go over the supposed sharp action from Brent from Week 6. Although remember, in the NFL, the sharp action is not done particularly well. First side that's notable that took sharp action, that was also a borderline play for me, was Miami, right? People thinking they're going to bounce back with the coaching change. 2.5, 2. Plus 2.5, plus 2, and the money line at plus 115 all took sharp action. Now it's all the way down to 1. That was a borderline pick for me. I'm just going to wait and see a little bit with Miami, but I did bet a little bit that one on the opening line at plus 1. Just decided against it in the parlay. That was a borderline pick. And also Detroit minus 2.5 was supposedly sharp, and the over 43 in that game. And I am going to wind up using the total from that one in one of the legs of the parlay this week. And then also the Colts. That might have been just early information on Andrew Luck being probable, but Colts at plus 10.5 and 10 supposedly took sharp action. And then supposedly there was a sharp public split in the Denver-Cleveland game. Public on Denver, sharps on Cleveland. That was the case last week as well with the Denver game. And in that one, the public won and the sharps lost. And that's a game that I'm also going to be including the total with that one from that game as one of the legs in my parlay. And the first leg of my parlay, one of the sides is actually going to go directly against reported sharp action from Brent. Brent tells us that multiple sharps came in on KC over Minnesota at plus 4. They also did that a few weeks ago with KC against Cincinnati as a similar sized road dog. And in that one, the public was all over Cincinnati. The public cashed, the sharps lost. And here I have decided to go against this supposed reported sharp action. I like Minnesota on the opening line. Right now it's minus 3.5 at BetDSI. That's a little bit steep, so I decided to play it safe and go with the money line at minus 190. That's going to be the first leg of the parlay for me. Minnesota money line minus 190 going against reported sharp action from Brent. Then the second leg is going to come from the Cleveland-Denver game. Last week I liked Oakland in retrospect. I was thinking that was the wrong side, but I also liked the under in that one, and that one, of course, cashed easily. In retrospect, I think that was the right side, and I'm going to take the under again in a Denver-Cleveland. Right now the total's 42.5. I'm going to buy up to 43 minus 120. Sometimes a jump from 42.5 to 43 can be pretty key, so that's what I'm going to do. Guessing for another, similar situation to what we saw last week against Oakland. Relatively conservative offense from Denver, and of course, very strong defense. Denver, Cleveland under 43 minus 120 is the second leg. Then the third leg is going to be a total. In Detroit, in the Chicago-Detroit game, now when this line opened, I started to think I was liking the under a little bit. Brent told us that sharp action came in on the over 43 in that one. That's driven the line up now to a 44. I was liking the under. 2 weeks ago we saw Detroit play a strong defensive game against Seattle. Then last week that all went to crap. But we might see a return to that here. And then I think we'll see incremental improvement from Chicago defensively week in and week out. So maybe I'm being incredibly stupid here, but I'm going to go against the sharp action. On a total, I'm going to take the under in Chicago-Detroit. Right now at DSI, the total's 44. Sometimes a jump to 45 can be kind of key, so I'm going to buy up to 45 minus 130. That's the third leg in the parlay. Chicago-Detroit under 45 minus 130. And then for the fourth leg, just another side that I haven't heard much on this week, but one that I kind of like on the opener. I'm going to take Houston over Jacksonville. Right now the line's Houston plus 1.5. Houston, of course, having all kinds of trouble, but they are off of a loss. They're off of a long week. They last played on Thursday. Jacksonville banged up at running back. I kind of like Houston a little bit more with Hoyer at quarterback. He is going to be starting here. I feel like he gets things done a little bit better than Mallet, who has a strong arm but just doesn't really, just throws too hard, doesn't really make good passes. And, Jacksonville banged up, not terribly formidable to begin with. Houston with the extra rest and an underdog. That's going to be the fourth leg of the parlay. Houston plus 1.5. So those are the 4 legs. I'm going to do a 4-teamer. 3s and 4s, $20 base, $100 to win 521.84. And if just 3 win, the parlay breaks even. That's the Pete's Parlay for NFL Week 6.